Just realized I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, are we on air?
No,
Oh.
no, just talk.
Maar just scalp me nog 100.
Nee.
Did you forget?
You know why we sit here and JD geld nie. Ons is mos story lorries hier so. Nah, other mense are stories. So we sitting here speculating.
Spill the beans.
Because over the last week, julle mense van Kartura, julle lokasie mense, who told you people you can go and make videos of other people's houses? Maria, kry julle nie skam nie.
We make videos for
I mean seriously, Cubase, you guys go and you make videos of Fitty's house that is busy building, and you send videos of the guy pulling out a new Mercedes-Benz at MZ. Is it a story nie?
Why is he buying stuff with our money?
Nee. So I'm just letting Maria know here that she has no money. I mean, there's speculation that some of these houses cost over $15 million. I said, so these houses are 15 times more value
than your house.
It's
Deliver so me, bro.
You must roll in the right circles if you want to be balling.
Ek gaan Quentin toe nou, so waar. Quentin, asseblief, gee my net geld. Ek wil nog hê. Jy pay my nou, maar gee nog meer. I also want my house to be 15 million, like some people.
Nee, dan moet je Ministry of Fisheries toe gaan. It's not here, Trasco.
This thing won't go away, guys.
The fish rod.
Jelican, because you see what happens.
It shouldn't go away.
Yeah.
You see what happens here is that we keep on every morning. Okay, cool. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. There's always someone that's, but shut up. But talk that other thing.
Yeah. No, it won't go away. And I think we saw in the latest, the newspapers are reporting today that James Satuikulipi has resigned as the chairperson of Fishco. And it seems they're gunning now for the CEO, Mike, Tate Mike, as we call him. Kipunya. So, yeah, it's not going to go away. It seems like every day something arises. And, remember, the 1st of December. I don't know, I feel like we should have a viewing party, no?
Yes, maybe we should.
Not just like with popcorn and just watch it. It's not about celebrating people's downfall. I think it's just so that we can exchange notes. Maybe you're going to miss something, or I see something you missed, or... No? But your haze must have just must have.
Listen, you make me feel very small now compared to some of these other figures that people are throwing around here. It's not nice. And so I don't like popcorn.
Senate is banged seen yourself in the documentary. And now he doesn't want to watch it. Like, how are you going to explain that away to us?
Somebody asked you. Somebody just asked now half an hour on the Neville, we know you have a quota. Talk about yours.
Anyway.
Guys, where were you? It's Thursday today.
I was at home.
Where were you guys Tuesday night when the big power outage happened?
I was asleep, funny enough. I only noticed and got sort of wind of it when I got to the office in the morning.
Nee?
It's like I fell asleep before 11. I think it went off around 11.
No, just before 11.
Yeah, just around
before
there.
11.
I was already asleep by then, which is out of the ordinary for me. But in any case, when I woke up, everything was normal and I was none the wiser until I got to the office and everything in the studio was off.
For me, it's unfortunate. I just finished editing, and I was sitting on my couch. I wasn't really on watching. The TV was on, but I was on my phone, and then it just went, and I was like, I actually thought I ran out of electricity units. But I know I had just topped up on Sunday, so I'm like, is my krach, like, are we using so much electricity? And then I stood up, I was like, no, man. And I was like, now I need to go buy electricity. Now I have 2 phones. The one that's linked to my FNB is my second phone. And it was off. And I'm like, now I can't buy electricity and I can't charge it.
Because the phone is off.
The phone is off. Just like, come I can't bed to the kids must just be strong in the morning. When I tell them we're out of units.
What was Geneva?
No,
obviously.
what helped for me was that I was sitting here at the canteen with a few with
11 o'clock.
Nee, wag.
Julle is er nie.
I was sitting here in the canteen with a few colleagues, because as we left here at 4:30, I saw some of them sitting up there saying, okay, one beer. So I left here around almost 8 o'clock. So as I got home, la 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 la. So I fell asleep. So like
You passed
guys,
out. You also didn't see it.
I didn't know.
Pass away.
What was funny is my wife was telling me yesterday, like she woke up maybe 5 minutes before the power basically came back on.
Oh, I see.
So she's sleeping and then poof, she sees the lights go on in the house. She's like, yo, what's up? Witchcraft is this? I didn't hear anybody in the toilet. Nobody's moving, but things are going on in the house. Like, yeah, so that was kind of funny.
But do you guys have any idea why this happened? What?
It's not yet clear.
Oh, okay.
But I read something from a friend that was very interesting. So he said the Monday him and his dogs were beefing because they pooped on the stoop, right? And that day apparently he was now busy taking groceries out of his car into the house when the power went off. He said, "I've never come, Dolly, come, Susan," so quick as he thought. Robbers were. He had to quickly make peace with his dogs. In the dark, but anyway.
Power outage. It was nationwide.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just nationwide. I think it was the whole of SADC. They say was out.
Poof, Eskom.
They were
Load shedding.
load shedding.
Please don't let this happen on election day. Unless you have backups for the
The,
event.
the nice thing with the whole power going off is like even the thieves are afraid because it's like
Nobody wants to go out.
nobody wants to.
You think you are thieving and then you get thieved.
You get thieved. Uh-oh.
All right, let me say good morning to our special guests this morning, who, of course, joining us on the live stream. Tenga Kea, a regular on the show, good morning, saying Moro. Meneer Ryan Finis, always watching but never commenting.
Ja, vir wat?
Skryf jou stuk in die Engels, my broer. Sal ek vir jou uitlag gee.
Groot mond.
Paulo Shipoke also saying morning. Beckham Pietrus.
Beckham, huh? Away.
People are funny names. on Facebook.
Beckham.
It's a new Namibia, this one.
Bend it like Beckham.
Yeah. Also, morning, Gayton, saying, morning, guys. Cherish every minute you spend with your power on. Load shedding is real. Zambia implemented it in June this year. It went from 4 hours a day and now 15 to 20 hours per day.
Hectic.
Zakaria Nekawa. Nakawa, actually, not Nekawa. Zacarias Nakawa. Buenos amigos del Radio Informante. Leroy Smith. Maria, translate, please.
Tafish.
Oh my goodness. Shucks Tiofe Nanyemba. In bed, sleeping peacefully. Did they attract Shangala? What? Okay, never mind.
No, wait. No, I saw a meme yesterday that somebody in the office showed me that this meme was asking, now, so did Sage Shangala also now take our power away or something like that? I think he's referring to that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mutatio Castens. Morning, the crew, or is it the clue? Maria, keep care like I do.
Candles.
Oh. No, I
Okay.
get better gegaan. It's all right.
No. Candles burn down houses. Richard Henkert, good morning, crew. Griekie Palmer also saying good morning. Here for Neville, that's Paul Willem. Neville Alazi for you.
Oh, moro yelle.
Yeah. Max Njala 007. Good morning, welcome to the show. Patrick Prince Kapembe. Morning, good people.
I lost the mornings. What's on the topic?
Then daran,
There's nothing to read
daran. Okay. No. Now the comments are becoming a bit longer. But in any case, today we are talking about the morality of our society. Right? It is of course clear to see for anybody who's willing to look that our moral values are slowly but surely disappearing from our society. So, Neville, let's start with you. What do you attribute this to?
I think, guys.
Firstly, do you agree that our moral values are declining as a society?
The thing is, I didn't live in the 19th century or the 18th century, so I wouldn't know what the moral values was.
But you lived in the 19th century, towards the end of it. Actually,
the 19th century. It's like the 1800s.
No, the 19th.
No, 19th century. Well,
It's
you
1900s.
just ended in 2000.
No.
Oh, okay, yes, I get what you mean.
Yeah. The 19th century is like the 1800s. I didn't live back then. So I know a specific generation would always say.
Guys, sorry, you did live in the 19th century.
Nee.
We're in the 20th century now.
No, in the 21st
we are in the
century.
21st century now.
Oh yeah, because of 19, but you were in the 19th century.
19
1985 is what?
That's the 20th century. That's what they call it.
Yo, I have to go polish up on my. Sure.
The 19th century is like the 1800s, late 1800s.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
stuff
The
like that.
1800s. I
Yeah. Why they call and you know you're not wrong. I think a lot of us make the same mistake.
the same
I know
mistake, yes.
years ago I had the same argument. I say, but the 19th century is and then somebody said no.
No.
It is the 18th century.
I must educate
There
myself.
you go. There you go. Google.
No, I'm
it.
not arguing. I need to educate myself. But
No,
like,
it's
full
very true.
biadom.
Should I explain how it works?
Yeah, please do.
Basically, the first century is from 0 to 1000.
Uh-huh.
So from 1000 to 2000.
Yo,
Stop.
19th century is from January 1st, 1801 to
Yeah.
December 31st, 1900. Yo,
First Tanji.
as heck. Yo, we learn something new every day.
Yeah. So all I'm just saying is that older people always tend to say, yeah, during our time, things were better morally, spiritually, religiously, etc., etc. And I think our conversation is based on the values of Christianity. Thus, the fact that people are not so religious anymore today make us a worse off society morally than before. I personally don't think so.
Yeah, the question is, did in the 19th century, as Africans, were we even Christians?
We were. We were.
We were not.
Yeah, no, it just started.
For us, Christian, what came with what? The Finnish?
The missionaries, yeah.
And that was like in
The Dutch and the Finnish,
1950, 1940. So, I mean, were we even Christian? For us to use that as an example.
I think in the early, when the Dutch settlers came to the Cape Colonies, they came in the 1600s already. And a lot of that culture, I think because what I do understand is that the first Germans arrived here in Namibia, I think in 1885. That's when the first German settlers came here. Now, even before that, there were Portuguese who traded with Namibians. Chris, who's a historian, he knows about all these things, and I think
He was
even
there.
Yeah,
But they didn't bring us the Bible.
Yeah, but even the Finnish missionaries came even a little bit before that.
I think the Finnish missionaries came around 1950. If I stand corrected, but that's what I remember historically.
There's lot misses there.
Yeah, the Finnish missionaries. Yeah.
No, I think they came before the colonizers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But nevertheless, I remember as a kid, again, I would believe everything about Christianity.
Are you still a Christian?
It's really a difficult question to ask, because I was brought up with Christian values, which everything that I supposedly have done good in my life, getting married, having children, stay in school, all these things are perceivedly attached as being Christian. But now that I'm older, I'm questioning, is this not my own moral standing that brought me here? The fact that I am who I am, and not because of the Bible? Is it the Bible? Do I believe that Noah put all the animals of the earth in one ark? For instance, when Abel was killed by his brother Cain, because there were 4 people in the Garden of Eden. It was Adam and Eve, and then Cain and Abel, who were their sons. The one killed the other one, and then he moved away to live with another community. Now, when I was a kid, when I asked this question, so now did Cain moved now from the garden, but there were only 4, mommy. But there were only 4 people in the whole world.
Where did he go?
Where did he go to? Hey, jy vra nie sulke goed nie. Blasphemy. Okay, so so for many years you were gagged by the code of conduct of Christianity. Now that you're older, now my kids start asking me the same kind of things. Daddy, what is Illuminati? 666? Stuff like that. And it becomes very difficult for me to answer these questions because I don't believe in half the stuff anymore than what I used to believe when I was a kid.
But look, whether you believe it or not, now that you are older, right? You were raised in the Christian religion, which means more or less most of your values, your moral standing is rooted in the Christian religion, no?
But that's what I'm saying. Was it really that?
Yeah. Sorry, just to for our listeners, the Finnish missionaries came in 1870.
There you go.
In Southern Africa, very correct. The reason I'm confused is for us, my people, the Ovakwanyama specifically came in 1960 in our area.
That's late, eh?
But they had already ordained somebody from the Ondonga, and that was in 1925. So the Kwanyama influence of the Finnish was around 1960.
Wow. Ovambuland is so hot. Even the missionary, even the colonizers were like, just leave them.
Yeah. So anyway, the reason, I think the reason you're asking is, was it really that? I think human beings were all born with a moral compass, right? You don't have to be a Christian to know that killing is wrong, for example, right? Even, let's say a sand person that's isolated, if he kills a brother or a sister without any influence from like Christianity or anything, that person knows that killing a woman or killing a man or killing a child is wrong. It's not something that you have to be taught biblically. So there's that moral compass I think everybody's born with, that you just know like stealing is wrong, killing is wrong. And this is largely, that's why it doesn't matter what your religious belief is. They're all the same in this instance. Like a Hindu knows it's wrong, a Buddhist knows it's wrong, a Muslim knows it's wrong. Even an atheist who doesn't believe in anything knows, for example, killing is wrong. That is informed by that moral compass I think we're all born with. Now, is it a lot of it is obviously tied now to the Christian teaching. Is the decay because of the lack of teaching? I think that's the question we're trying to answer. I don't necessarily think so. Because I like to use the example, like I said, with Gersa, the CEO of NQA that we now know shot his wife. He was a pastor. He shot his wife repeatedly, probably with the aim to kill her. We know pastors that have impregnated their daughters. And now they've been doing, these are people that, men of the cloth, people that understand the Bible. Because if you're saying it's because these values is because we don't know the Bible, or people, well, what about people that are still committing these crimes?
While they read the
Bible. In the Catholic, I mean, it's the biggest scandal with the altar boys and everything that happens in there. So most recently, I saw apparently 2 nuns that came to Africa and returned pregnant. They were on a mission in Africa and returned back to
mission to do what?
You know those Catholic missions where they deploy nuns or whatever. No, Africa was so lekker, remember? Teruggegaan met kapundas. Anyway,
you there, Holy Ghost fire.
I'm just saying. Like, I don't really think. Yeah, I guess we should answer. If it's not Christianity, then what is it? Why do we see a moral decay in our society? And is there really a moral decay, or are we just becoming more aware of it? That's also the other thing.
Yeah, that could also be, like, you do have a point there, because now we live in a time where information is so easily accessible. I mean, back then, if you weren't watching the TV or you weren't reading the newspapers, basically you were out of the loop.
Yeah.
Now the information finds you where you are on your. I mean, you were sitting here just now and you got like a WhatsApp when we were talking to sports.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, just something that is busy circulating. So, to that point, I think Maria also has a valid point there that maybe it's also just the information is now out there. I mean,
The problem that we have today here in the studio is that unfortunately we agree about the same thing here.
Yeah.
yes,
we need.
all three of us are sort of in agreement.
No, we don't need to. It's also just a question of, I think also, I think our generation, my okay, different generation.
What are you getting to my 19th century? again? Are you insinuating I'm from the 19th century?
But in any event, I think our generation now. There's also that human rights element that's being preached more today than it was yesterday. And with that human rights, also people are starting to understand their rights. It's like respect is not just given anymore; it's earned. Back in the days, like your parents could do anything to you, or an elderly could swear at you, insult you, and whatever, and you had to, as a cultured person, just kind of take that in and accept and be cordial. Now the youth is like,
There's a flip side to that coin as well. Like for instance, me growing up, ek het geken any of the basically elders in die lokasie kan vir my bliksem as ek met nonsense staan iewers.
Yeah.
Like any one of them, like, hey, Chase Visa kan kom hier so, loak, dan word jy is toe gevat, dan word jy ook by die huis gaan geslaan.
Yeah.
So it can also force you to stay in check or at least do the stuff behind the corners. And now, it's like, hey, just my money, just my pan.
Yeah.
Like even your man, your pa say is like, what sal je maak? So,
Yeah.
I would love for, and that's what I'm saying. You know what? On a daily basis here, whenever we bring up a topic, because then we know well in advance what Maria's stand is on a certain topic, your stand is, my stand is, and we debate it out, and because we don't want to agree on the show.
There's nothing wrong with agreeing.
Yeah.
Though.
The Singani.
No. We can see the viewers bringing their.
I want a staunch Christian, somebody who believes in every Christian value, to come on air and say, guys, you are wrong. It's because of this, that, this reasons that Christianity is the epitome of moral standing in society.
To some degree it is, I will say that. I will say to that fear, you'll be surprised what it can do. I'll give my daughter as an example. There was a time, like I think in preschool, my daughter was she's her own person, strong-minded, strong-willed. Sometimes she doesn't listen, sometimes she listens, sometimes she wants to do her own thing. And I don't necessarily spank, so it was like, okay, how do we deal with this?
bring her, spank her for you.
And then her teacher, I think one day was just like, look, there's God on earth and there's, and if you don't act right, you'll go to hell. That put some fear, because the way hell was explained to her is like this burning pit.
Eternal fire.
Yeah, eternal fire. And for whatever, that put the bejesus in her, because
Jesus, that's a nice one.
because homegirl just started acting right. And I was like, I kind of ravished because I would be like, Clarissa, be careful with others, you're going to hell. And that would just kind of sway her. So I do understand how that instilling that fear of the unknown and that eternal doom can change attitudes, but it's only for so long, because then I think that's just the informative years of a child's life. And then obviously you have to do the actual work, because eventually they're also going to start questioning the Bible, like, what is this hell? I don't believe in it, or who is this God? Like, but you can do it. I think you can get away with it the first maybe 9 years of their lives, maybe 10 if you stretch it. But after that, you have to do the actual work, and they have to understand that things are not attached to Christian. You don't have to be Christian to be a good person. You don't have to practice or read the Bible to understand that you have to treat people with respect and be cordial.
It's humanity.
Humanity.
And that's my problem, guys, because my mother is a very strong church-going.
So is my mom.
Woman who believes in everything Christian-wise. And my mother is up to a point where I think she shuns or despises anything that has got nothing to do with Christianity. For instance, it's like I said to you the other time, Cubase, the Herero Holy Fire. It's been part of Herero culture for centuries. And people who harbor strong Christian values, they frown upon something like that.
Our traditional practices.
Yeah,
and
anything
cultures,
that is traditional, our traditional practices. And I mean, that holy fire that keeps on burning on a daily basis, and there's a Herero word for it. It's all about this feel good, about prosperity within that certain community that the Ova Herero is living. Is there something wrong with the holy fire? Why are you saying that the Bible is better than what
our ancestors were practicing?
About what our ancestors were practicing? That is just my issue. The problem is just that if we start talking about something like this with people whose DNA is so Christianity is so entrenched in their DNA, it becomes difficult to even try to explain to them that there are certain values that we had before Christianity came to our shores.
My guy, I don't talk religious. I don't have religious conversations with those, staunch Christians.
You can't break through. And just by the way, our King Mandume, the Kwanyama King, the last Kwanyama King, he shunned Christianity. But he implemented lots of things like you can't beat women, you can't kill women, you can't, So my point is, this is not all attached to Christianity. Like prior to that, our cultural beliefs and systems and traditions were also put a lot of respect on humanity and the human being. And it's once you understand that, you are not going to use the Bible as the overall. My mother is also just, by the way, Christian, not as staunch, like she still believes in human rights. So she's, for example, doesn't frown upon gay people or anything like that, because she believes, people should love who they love. But she's in church every Sunday. She's in church choir. She's hallelujah.
Yeah, but gay people is just wrong.
That
is wrong.
Let me read a few comments. I remember reading a quote somewhere. I can't remember who it was from. But basically it said, like, the easiest way to control a people is to control their concept of God. And it really resonated with me.
That's true.
Dino Ramos, Energy Minister Tom Aluendo confirmed this afternoon. This afternoon is not here yet, maybe yesterday afternoon. That the power outage that occurred last night was as a result of a transformer that blew up at Keetmanshoop. And then Lazarus M.K. Matthias says, what happened is simple. Nampower fell from the trailer. So Ella Bekkers, good morning. Julle altyd nice om na julle in die studio te luister. Viola Hango saying Tafish, Maria. Gaitan Curtis just saying Maria and a lot of laughing emojis. Paulus Ndapewa.
Do you know Gaitan? You? Are you sure?
Maybe if I saw him, I don't know.
I know Gaitan.
Let's say Iksa gaan klaar, say.
Ai,
Ek sê jou.
Paulus Ndapewa sê Miriam, moenie so wees nie man, ons groet vir julle asseblief maar. Maar moenie catch nie.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it's not that. The thing is, we start reading the comments before we get into the topic, and a lot of them is good morning. And then if we read all the good mornings, by the time we're done, it's like...
People want to hear their names.
Ne? Yeah. Oh, askis man. Yeah. Sorry.
They want to be acknowledged that they do greet.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah. Vezi or Vezi Kayere. Never listen to this one.
I'm Ukuru.
For once, Maria is wrong. This is the 21st century.
Thank you. We cleared that up. I can accept it was baya wrong.
Bradley Kum said, morning guys. Speaking of morality, I heard yesterday in Tura Times that the reason Namibia is not raining is apparently because of immorality. There are much more immoral countries than us that are getting water for days.
Yes.
So,
no, those immoral ones probably get so much water that that it becomes an immoral thing.
A problem.
Yeah. The funniest thing is sometimes like I was looking at a study of like just countries that are atheists, predominantly atheists. Predominantly is like atheists are never in the overwhelming majority, by the way. But like I'm just saying, like high percentage of people that say I'm an atheist, and then you compare that to like the crime rates and all these things. I mean, if we want to use Christian as the guiding light, and there is no link, by the way.
Shiri.
Yeah, there was no link. Like nations that have a high rate of atheists also have high rates of crime. In fact, it's almost the opposite. Nations that are high levels of Christianity had a lot of this moral decay, like a lot of high crime and everything. Look at us, look at South Africa, all Christian. When we're secular states, but we're a Christian nation, meaning like majority of people are Christians. Us, South Africa, Zimbabwe, look, all this, actually SADC. Maybe we'll go look at the crime rates. Even further, actually look at the whole Africa, because it's not just SADC, even West Africa and everybody. Africa is largely Christian nation, and there's parts of it that is Muslim as well, but largely Christian. And yeah, it's a sorry state sometimes.
Shaks Nanyemba saying, we are still not Christians, we only pretend to be. I know who did write the Bible. Actually, you know, when I was going through my questioning phase, I looked up some of this stuff, like documentaries on how the Bible was actually put together, when it was put together, and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting information there.
Okay, guys, I don't dispute the fact that Jesus did walk the earth as much as Muhammad.
I dispute you.
Okay, and I do respect.
I like how the Muslim believe Jesus walked, that he was what do you call it? Not like a Messiah, but like he wasn't the spiritual. He was what is the word in the Muslim? They believe Jesus walked, but not as this Messiah. He worked as a gosh.
But you believe that Jesus was a human being?
I believe Jesus was a human being.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's where we are together.
Yeah.
I do believe he was born. The problem is then again, these biological issues. It's still very difficult for me to believe that that Maria gave birth through the Holy Spirit and Joseph was not involved.
Yeah, they wanted to keep her pure.
They wanted to keep her pure, stuff like that.
Because sex is dirty.
Sex is dirty. Jesus walked the earth. He was here. He died at the age of 33. Bob Marley died at the age of 36. Muhammad acknowledged some of Jesus' teachings, even in the Holy Quran.
Yeah, what did Bob Marley meditated?
No, I'm just saying, it seems like a lot of people, all these iconic figures have died in their 30s. Martin Luther King died when he was 36.
Me, I'm still in my 30s. Don't start saying such things.
You need to go.
Hey.
You need to cut it.
Yeah. But yeah, I do question certain elements of Christianity. That's just it.
Okay, now the other thing on homosexuality. Sorry, I just wanted to say one thing I don't understand. You get a man, het so 3-4 kinders wat rondhardloop that were born out of wedlock. He's got his wife, 3-4 kids running out of wedlock, running around. His wife is probably even taking care of them. Still very what do you call it? Infidelity. It's like it's a big known fact in their marriage, and this man still has the audacity to tell you it is against the Bible to be gay. I'm like, we are such hypocrites, bruh. Like, why do we use it to shun certain? It seems like we only use it at our convenience.
No, yes. We use it.
We don't self-reflect. Like,
become a weapon.
It's become
against
a weapon.
The others.
Yeah, but what about you? You're sitting there with your kids that are clearly born out of wedlock, but you have the audacity to say stuff like that. It's shameful. It's very,
very, very shameful. And I say there are way more gay people that I knew, that I grew up with in my community, that I would rather spend a day with, sit and chat with than some of the scum that walk around
and
here.
then the Bible bashers. Oh.
Yeah. No.
Die woord van die Here. Oh, my mother better not be watching this. I'll be disowned.
That's why I'm quiet.
And you, why are you not going to church, you?
I go to church when I
hello.
go.
Nee, ek het vir Maria gevra.
I'm
I do
reading
go.
comments.
I do go.
Where's my whistle, Anno?
Just put off the mics like we did yesterday.
Honorable Shambuila saying, yes, moral decay among our nation came as a result of replacing RME, the Bible, with box of condoms at school. Okay, we had neither the Bible nor condoms at school when I was in school, so...
That actually came up yesterday in the talk show. The pastor was saying, yeah, now, the one parent was complaining, now they are replacing the Bible and they're teaching kids how to wear condoms. I was like...
Which school did you go to where there was no Bible?
Me?
Yeah.
Like a Bible in the school.
Like,
I mean,
Bible
like
studies.
religions,
Bible
Bible
studies. We
studies.
had Bible studies.
I had Bible studies in primary school.
No?
Yeah, now?
Wat
is jou
het
probleem?
hulle dit genoem? Sondagskool.
No, we're talking about Bible studies as a subject in school.
You didn't have
I
it.
didn't have Bible studies.
You and I are not that age. It was only script.
You and I are the same age, but I didn't have Bibles. I had Sondag.
It was compulsory.
Sondagskool.
Nee, man.
No, it was compulsory. In the
Cubase.
1980, like,
Okay, if there was Bible studies in my primary school, then clearly I was not paying any attention in that class because I don't remember it at all.
But which school did you go to?
Kavia van Maria.
Nee, man, dis 'n boereskool daai. Daar
boere,
was
skalleskool.
Bybelkunde. Even there was Bybelkunde.
Yeah.
Hallo,
Godsdienst.
een van julle wat met
I-
my op die skool was, né? Kom remind
it
me
was
van
compulsory.
But it was compulsory.
It was compulsory.
No, but I don't.
Yeah, just say you don't remember.
I don't remember. I remember Sunday class, sitting in this.
At church.
No, it's not a church.
After church.
It's like a extra class that was built on the school at the time.
Yeah. In Okanya.
Yeah, I do remember sitting in there, reciting
Yeah,
Bible
Leon
verses and
Donians.
stuff. Ach man, elk geval.
Sorry, and I wanted to add this condom thing. A lot of us grew up Christian. A lot of us did. You were confirmed, you were baptized, you grew up Christian. But when it was time to have sex, my bro, you're not thinking, oh, what was the geleerd daar by die Sunday school? If kids want to have sex, I'm sorry to say, kids will have sex.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing that's going to stop kids from having sex if they decide they want to have sex. Now, the best you can do as a parent is to equip them for when that moment comes. So that you say, okay, fine, I would like you to wait till marriage if that's what it is. Or I would like you to wait till you're older. But in the event, because kids are still going to do what kids are going to do, because we were kids and we also did what we wanted to do. Always remember that. The best you can do for your kids is say, okay, when that time comes and you're ready, I would like you to wait. But in the event that you're going to do, this is what protection looks like. This is how it's put on. This is how, and whatever. And that information will get your child to the next phase to prevent those teenage pregnancies and all this. But to kind of ignore that it doesn't happen because you think if I teach my kids the Bible, they're not going to have sex. No. Kids are going to do what they want to do.
Speaking of which, it reminds me of something I saw last night. Okay, all three of us have daughters in here. So she's obviously a grown girl, right? I was watching like a series. Over 18, I guess. So she walks up, it's family dinner time. She walks up to the parents, comes into the house. It's like pleasantries, hi, whatever. And it's like, okay, mom, dad, I've decided I'm going to have sex. And these are two black parents, right? And they're looking at her like, are you? And then she's like, yeah, I've decided I'm going to have sex on Saturday. I'm going to be gone during the day, but I'll be home before curfew. You should have seen the look on the father's face. And they were both speechless. So, do you want that kind of comfortability with your children? Or do you prefer them to Madonna?
Listen, you too, ne? You too. You getting very personal.
I would like
guys-
my
I would also prefer that
Yeah.
they come to
I
me.
would prefer, like, if my daughter, especially my daughter, where I can, for example, put her on contraceptive, came to me and said, you know, Mom, I'm thinking about it.
Maria,
And then I can just, yeah.
my daughter is 10 years old.
No,
Why
10
must you have this discussion?
No, but I'm just saying, obviously, I'm
Obviously
not
not
thinking
now.
at 10. I'm not talking
Yeah.
about
No,
10.
but I don't want to talk about
My
it
daughter's
now.
Like,
four,
even
guy.
I'm talking if she's 17.
Yes.
You understand? And she came to me and she said, I really do want this relationship with my kids. I've got a boyfriend. We've been making out. But there's times when it could have happened, but I didn't. But it could still happen, I would rather have that conversation with my daughter and just say that, I would, still also first encourage her to wait, but also take those precautions, like put on contraceptive, teach her the condom.
Look at the look on Neville's
Yeah.
face. I can't that if
Sometimes I think we also conveniently forget where we come from.
Yes.
Like if you think the first time, maybe not so, you are most Asian, but a lot of my generation were having sex at 16, 17. I was probably one of the last ones too, and that wasn't even that late. But I'm just saying, like a lot of them were very active at 16 already, 17, and we like to pretend. And these are the same people that will be like, people want to introduce condoms. People only teach your kids the Bible, but you forget what age did you have sex at. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You see,
and you were taught the Bible.
And you were taught the Bible as well.
Look at how
it's this behavior of the two of you that will send me back to Christianity.
Look, Neville, morality, right? For me, I feel it begins in the house.
No, you guys.
Like like just the fact that I can't even remember truly having Bible studies or Bible classes in school shows you how ineffective it is.
Yeah.
No, I just think it was pure hero tribalist arrogance from your side.
No, it was not.
Errors het mos nie respek.
From grade 1 to grade 7, ek het my Zali vir my elke Sondag het sy my kerk toe
Dan gaan
gevat.
slaap jy daar by die kerk.
I know. I mean,
Ek het gaan slaap. Ek sal nie vir jou lieg. Like, hallo, is te lang. Hoe sê jy altyd?
Julle is toch stout. All right, let's check out a few more comments before we wrap things up. Guys, please don't forget Pangaea's formation of the theory that the earth was one supercontinent. Where was Christianity and where was it not? All right, Honorable Shambuila. Yes, moral decay among our nation came as a result of replacing. Okay, I already read that one. Killian Blacklised Wombulu. You guys have got interesting name. The moral decay is not because we have no biblical teachings, but rather because we replaced our cultural compass with biblical teachings. Brian Basquet, I became less religious by understanding the written words in the Bible, not just believing. Right? Believing without understanding can blind you. Less religious countries like Estonia are very wholesomely happy people. Bradley Kubisep, even though Christianity has not been from the beginning, remember Christianity is simply a byproduct sort of Judaism, which had deeper affiliations with early Egyptian moral values, which affects us all today. Adam Visser, hartlike môre aan julle. Love you guys. Ek kan nie wag vir môreoggend nie. I am addicted. Eish.
Matongo family.
Yes.
Mora.
Hollywood has destroyed our values and morals. Maybe that's something that we can look
I
at
think
quickly.
also, apart from
Outside
Hollywood, I think
influences.
also, yes, outside influence. And the problem is when you create an outside influence, a platform for outside influence to come in, and we're hardly at home. And we are hardly at home because we're working parents now. So there's a lot of kids are kind of left to their own devices. And we don't, for example, thoroughly do like a proper assessment and inventory of what our kids consume. For example, like you think it's a cartoon, right? I've seen some funny cartoons. I'm like, what? Why are they making cartoons like this? But you need to really check the content your kids are consuming. I always put off the TV, but if the TV is off all the time, you also need to assess the friends they are with. I mean, last year I had to make my son stop hanging with a kid because the kid taught him, do you know black boys are called negros?
What?
Yeah. A colored kid in my complex. And I had to say, no, I don't want you hanging with that kid anymore. This is not stuff that I need you to even be saying or, but I had to sit him down and make him understand. So I'm just saying we need to start assessing. You need to do a proper inventory of everything, the games that your child consumes, because I'm not at home all the time. So it's what happens at school, what happens outside the house, what happens inside the house. You need to constantly check and monitor so that at least, you can mitigate. Because if you leave them to their own device, you're in
I would
trouble.
do things that are seemingly innocent, even in some of the cartoons, especially as you start growing up. If you sit and watch most of them with your kids, it'll shock you.
It will.
I mean, the cartoons that we used to watch when we were kids.
What, Sesame Street?
Yeah, Sesame
Yeah,
Street.
those were innocent ones.
That
Yeah,
was-
Barney.
Yeah.
Barney's friends are big.
Usela, like Sesame
Bunny
Street
Education.
also taught us to have certain biases.
Like?
Like what?
Like, for instance, look at how everybody treats Oscar on that. So we walk past homeless people, it's like, hey man, you grouch. Because that's what we learned. That's how you treat people who are in the dustbins and stuff. But anyway, come on,
I was seriously sitting here trying to, okay, take this in now. There's some strong, disciplined information that Cubase is going to come to. Now you're going to talk about Oscar.
Sien jy vat hom nie even kop toe nie.
Big Bird. Big Bird.
Zeg, who cares about Oscar?
Come on, plus size people.
No, my favorite was Count.
Count
Dracula.
Count Dracula, yeah.
Count Dracula. Miss Piggy.
One.
I actually like Big Bird.
And what were the two guys? Bird and Annie.
Bird and
Okay, guys, this is not a walk down memory lane. Die kinders verstaan nie wat ons van
I love what you guys are talking about now.
Yeah, but
I
stuff
see
like
my
Bugs
child.
Bunny and stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, this
Bugs
looks
Bunny,
so innocent. I mean, only Tom and Jerry. Yeah,
I love Tom and Jerry, Donald Duck,
Yes.
Daffy
Daffy.
Duck.
Yeah.
I like the cartoons where they were not talking because there were no subliminal jokes
Yeah,
being thrown there. Yeah, it's like they're just making noises
Yeah.
and sounds. Like, okay, that's cool.
Guys, I'm gonna go and Google Sesame Street's episodes tonight. You guys just took me back to memory.
Yeah,
lane.
like watch that. Just don't discriminate the guy in the dustbin.
Yes, he is also human. Makwa van Makwa, good question. If Cain married a woman at the place where he ran away to, where did she come from? That's a clear indication that Adam and Eve are not first humans on earth.
Maar net zo.
Like that is an issue that we can debate until the cows come
Kingdom
home.
come.
Yes.
You're going to hell.
Yeah.
Kom, maklar.
Ons kan gaan.
Nee,
Alright.
lees nog 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I disagree with Maria's analysis of atheist countries and crime and so forth because her definition of Christianity is not accurate. You must understand that not everyone who says I'm a Christian on a form or on their CV are necessarily living.
Okay.
Oh, wacht, that's. Yo, okay. So it's
Okay.
a long comment. Are necessarily living what they profess to be. A nation may be dominated by professing Christians, yet denying the values of Christianity in their conduct and the professing Christianity is what your comparison is based on this sample. Real radical Christians will do what Jesus did, not those attempted murder goed van Gertse.
Dis 'n pastoor dan.
Do you know that more people in this world have been killed in the name of religion than for any other reason?
True.
Yeah.
Because those ones are not like us, we are going to kill them. Or those ones believe in that, so we are going to kill them. So religious people are not necessarily the ones who should be pointing fingers to everybody else. Maar in elk geval, Norsa Toivo Kapapilo. In my opinion, the cause of moral decay in our society have to do with lack of consequences to our actions. Kids
I agree.
are never disciplined anymore. Community leaders are never punished for their wrongdoings. Politicians are celebrated for their corrupt dealings. The national laws are no longer powerful enough. Lawyers decide the outcome of cases. The authorities are selective. Collective parental responsibility in communities are no longer practiced. Churches no longer practice the moral values which they preach. We are basically now embarrassed, I guess, of our
Who's that?
immoral deeds anymore. Or
Amen.
not.
Who's that?
Norsa Toibo Kapapilo.
Amen.
Very good
Yeah.
analysis.
That's very 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 good.
RME was Bible Studies Cubase. What is RME? For what stand RME?
Religious
memory.
Mary.
Evangelie. Evangelie of wat? Het ken niet.
Okay, Joanne, guys, moral values help us distinguish between what's right and wrong, good or bad. Obviously, that started from the Bible, from our parents. And admit it, no, guys, it did not start.
It's a moral compass.
Our parents had their moral compass before, long before Christianity came to our shores.
Like I said, use the San community that's not largely influenced as an example. They still practice humanity amongst themselves.
Ovahimba.
The Ovahimba still practice humanity amongst themselves.
Yes.
But these people are not influenced or guided by the Bible or because it was ingrained in them, because the Bible say, the 10 commandments, or Jesus said so. No. This is something you're born with inherently that teaches you right and wrong.
Okay, the last one, Vixen Hangula. There actually is a difference between religion, which is your traditional Old Testament law, and faith, which is that relationship that is between the person and his creator, right? The type that Jesus Christ teaches, but that will take time to explain and understand.
Yeah, so a lot of us don't have faith. I'd rather put it that way. We're Christians, but we don't have faith. Is that what the gist of it is?
Yes,
which I agree with.
Vixen Angola. I hope it's the Vixen Angola, I know, filmmaker. Vixen, if it's you, it's good to hear you, man. I haven't seen you in many years.
I sit it me.
Mag ek nie my
Go
braak?
connect with him on Facebook.
Yeah.
Vixen,
Wait,
okay.
Vixen, you're into films, right? On the 1st of December, we're
Films.
watching...
Films.
Into films.
Film.
That's what you said. Man.
Yeah,
Films.
December the 1st, we are watching the release of a very special documentary at Neville's house. You can come join us. Check, come on, Maria, jy praat nou high level English.
Ja.
Kan jy nie bietjie Namlish your English net so bietjie?
Who is that?
Tena Nambwa.
Tena, we struggle here every morning, because Maria's English is like
Asseblief.
Kombanda, it's like up there. And some of us have this elementary public school English.
But just find me with a kwaito, you'll be very surprised.
Gaan speel, man.
Let's net stout mense. Kom ons gaan net eens. Let us go.
See you guys
Ons
tomorrow.
wala net by.
I can't wait to have the Matongo family in studio tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow Matongo family is in the studio.
Yeah, they're going to be in the studio.
Yeah.
It's going to be... Yes, tune in tomorrow morning.
It should be an interesting show. I'll be at home watching as well. So yeah, that's that.
What do you mean?
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, Monday to Friday.